Ever wondered how to snowboard? Well, your curiosity ends here. Welcome to this comprehensive guide where we're going to dive into the fascinating world of snowboarding. Snowboarding, a thrilling winter sport that combines elements of surfing, skateboarding, and skiing, offers a unique blend of adrenaline and tranquility. It's a dance with nature where the snow is your dance floor and the snowboard your partner. This video is designed specifically to guide beginners through the process of learning how to snowboard. We'll explore everything from your first time standing on a snowboard to mastering techniques like side-slipping, the falling leaf carve, and linking turns. Our aim is to equip you with the necessary skills and knowledge to enjoy this exhilarating sport safely and confidently. By the end of this video, you will have a basic understanding of how to snowboard. So, shall we get started? Before we hit the slopes, it's crucial to understand the equipment and safety precautions. Let's kick off with the snowboard. It's your ride, your magic carpet on the snow. When choosing a new snowboard, or if you want to discuss gear with another snowboarder, it's essential to know a few technical terms such as shape, rocker, flex, torsion, or pop. The topic gets a bit complex, from directional shape to twin tip shape and twin tip directional shape, and other characteristics that warrant just one video for it. So, as you can see, there's a range of different types, but for beginners, a softer, more flexible board will be easier to handle. Next, the boots. They are your connection to the board, so they need to be comfortable and supportive. Three aspects here are key: flexibility, comfort, and heel hold. They come in different stiffness ratings, from soft to medium soft, medium stiff, and stiff. But as a beginner, you'll probably want something on the softer side for easier maneuverability. Then we have the bindings. These are what keep your boots attached to the board. They should be adjusted to match your stance and comfort. There are three different types of snowboard bindings: two-strap, these are the most common, rear entry, and step-on registered trademark, which is unique to Burton. Two-strap bindings have been the standard binding for years because they are easy to use, secure, and responsive. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all here. It's all about what feels right for you. Now, let's talk safety. The helmet is a non-negotiable piece of equipment. It's designed to protect your head from injuries, so make sure it fits well and is comfortable to wear. Goggles are also essential. They protect your eyes from the sun, wind, and snow, and help you see better in various light conditions. But equipment is just one part of safety. Being aware of your surroundings on the slopes is crucial. Respect the marked trails and signs, and take note of the snow conditions. Remember, snowboarding is a dynamic sport with inherent risks, so knowing your limits and staying within them is key. Another important aspect is learning how to fall correctly. Yes, you heard it right. Falling is a crucial part of learning to snowboard, and doing it correctly can save you from unnecessary injuries. It's better to fall on your bottom or side, rather than trying to break the fall with your hands, which can lead to wrist injuries. And lastly, let's not forget about the importance of warming up before you start snowboarding. Some light stretching and a few warm-up runs can go a long way in preventing muscle injuries and making your snowboarding experience more enjoyable. And now that we're equipped and safety conscious, it's time to get on the snowboard. It's time to step on your snowboard for the first time. Feeling excited? Now let's begin by strapping into your snowboard. This process is akin to putting on a pair of oversized shoes. Simply place your lead foot into the binding. That's the contraption on the board that will hold your foot securely. Push your heel down until you hear a click. That's the sound of your binding latching onto your boot. Repeat this for your other foot. Remember, snug but not too tight. You don't want to cut off your circulation. Once you're strapped in, standing up might feel a bit like a Herculean task, but don't worry, we've got a trick up our sleeve. Firstly, position yourself so that you're sitting with your snowboard in front of you, perpendicular to the slope. Now push down on the snowboard with your hands while simultaneously pushing up with your legs. Voila, you're standing. But standing is only half the battle. The real challenge lies in maintaining your balance. This is where the snowboarding stance comes in. Think of your snowboard as a seesaw and your body as the fulcrum. Your goal is to distribute your weight evenly across the board to keep it level. To achieve this, bend your knees slightly and lean forward just a tad. Imagine you're about to sit on a low stool. Now let's talk about body positioning. Your shoulders and hips should be aligned with your board. Your head should be looking in the direction you're going, not down at your feet. And remember, loose and relaxed is the way to go. Tension is a snowboarder's worst enemy. Finally, practice shifting your weight from one foot to the other. This will help you get a feel for how your snowboard responds to your movements. Go slow and remember, it's okay to fall. In fact, consider each tumble a rite of passage on your journey to becoming a seasoned snowboarder. Great job, you're now standing on your snowboard. Let's start moving. Now that you're standing, it's time to get moving. But remember, control is key. Picture yourself at the top of a gentle slope. You're standing on your snowboard, heart racing, ready to take that first slide down the hill. But before we set off, let's talk about speed and control. First things first, how do you start moving? It's all about weight distribution. Lean slightly forward, shifting your weight onto your front foot. You'll feel the board start to slip downhill. It's a thrilling sensation, but don't let it catch you off guard. Now let's talk about controlling your speed. Speed on a snowboard is managed by the angle at which you point your board down the slope. The more you point your board straight down, the faster you'll go. If you want to slow down, you simply turn your board so it's more across the slope. But what about stopping? That's where the skill of edging comes in. Edging is about using the edges of your snowboard to cut into the snow and slow yourself down. To stop, you'll need to tilt the board onto its edge, digging into the snow and bringing you to a halt. Now this all sounds pretty straightforward, right? But it's important to remember that every slope and every snow condition is different. What works on a gentle, fresh powder day might not work so well on a steep, icy slope. So, always be prepared to adapt your technique to the conditions. And finally, practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the better you'll get at controlling your speed and direction. It's all about finding that sweet spot between excitement and control. Too much speed and you'll lose control. Too little and you won't go anywhere. Remember, snowboarding is not about racing down the mountain as fast as you can. It's about enjoying the ride, feeling the snow under your board, and soaking up the stunning scenery around you. You've now mastered the basics of speed and control. Ready for your first turn? Making your first turn on a snowboard is a milestone. Ready to give it a shot? Now let's talk about your first basic turn, the heel side turn. It's all about balance, weight shift, and direction change. So how do we do it? Let's break it down. First, you'll want to be in a basic snowboarding stance. Knees slightly bent, shoulders aligned with your board, and eyes looking in the direction you want to go. Remember, your body will naturally follow where your eyes are leading. Next, you'll initiate your turn by shifting your weight toward your front foot. This shift is subtle, not a lunge, just a gentle nudge of weight forward. Imagine you're trying to squish a bug under your front foot. Now the magic starts. To make the turn, you'll need to lean into your heels. Picture yourself sitting back into an imaginary chair. This will lift your board's front edge off the snow. As you lean back, your board will start to swing around in the direction you're looking. Don't forget, throughout your turn, your body should be relaxed and your movements fluid. It's easy to tense up when you're learning something new, but try to resist that urge. Remember, snowboarding is a dance with the mountain, not a wrestling match. Once your board is pointing down the slope again, you'll want to shift your weight back to the middle of your board. This will put your board flat on the snow again and allow you to glide straight, and there you have it. You've just completed your first heel side turn. It might feel a bit strange at first, but with practice, it will soon become second nature. Remember, every snowboarder has been where you are right now. The key is to be patient with yourself and keep practicing. Like any worthwhile skill, it takes time to master. Congratulations on your first turn, but we're not done yet. Next, we're going to learn a technique called the falling leaf. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? The falling leaf is a fundamental snowboarding maneuver named for its similarity to the way a leaf falls from a tree. It's a graceful back and forth movement that helps you descend a slope while maintaining control. Picture this: a leaf doesn't plunge straight down from a tree, does it? It drifts side to side, lightly touching down. That's exactly what we're aiming for with the falling leaf technique. But how do you perform the falling leaf, you ask? Well, it's quite straightforward. You start on your heel edge, facing down the slope. Then you slightly shift your weight to your front foot and begin to glide sideways down the slope. As you move, your board will naturally start to point downhill. When this happens, shift your weight back to your rear foot to bring the board back across the slope. Repeat this process to continue your descent. Remember, your weight shift needs to be smooth and gradual. Think of it as a dance with the mountain. Also, keep your knees slightly bent and your body relaxed. This will help you maintain balance and control. The falling leaf technique is an excellent way to navigate across flat terrain or down gentle slopes. It's also a stepping stone to more advanced techniques such as carving. As you master the falling leaf, you'll gain confidence and control, which are key to progressing in your snowboarding journey. In essence, the falling leaf technique is all about balance, control, and fluidity. It's a dance with the mountain, a graceful descent that's as beautiful to watch as it is to perform. So give it a try, feel the rhythm, embrace the flow, and let the mountain guide you. And remember, every great snowboarder started where you are right now. You're doing great. Let's keep the momentum going. Now, let's learn about side slipping on the heel edge and toe edge. Side slipping, my dear snowboarding enthusiasts, is a crucial skill for navigating those pesky flat areas and for controlling your speed on steeper slopes. It's about sliding sideways down the hill, either on your heel edge or toe edge, rather than moving forward. Picture this: you're standing on your board, facing downhill. To side slip on your heel edge, you'll want to gently lift your toes. This puts pressure on the heel edge of your board, causing it to dig into the snow and allowing you to slide down the slope sideways. Keep your knees a little bent, your body relaxed, and remember to look in the direction you want to go. Not too hard, right? Now let's flip the script and talk about side slipping on the toe edge. This time we're starting with our back to the slope. You'll want to gently press down with your toes, causing the toe edge of your board to dig into the snow. Just like before, you'll start to slide sideways down the slope. Keep your knees bent and your body relaxed. The difference between these two techniques is all in the feet. For heel edge side slipping, you're lifting your toes. For toe edge, you're pressing down with them. One isn't inherently harder than the other, but you might find one more comfortable based on your body's natural inclinations. The key is to practice both, as they each have their uses on the slopes. Don't be discouraged if you're finding it a bit tricky at first. Remember, every snowboarding virtuoso was once a beginner, fumbling with their board and feeling like Bambi on ice. With patience, practice, and a dash of tenacity, you'll be side-slipping like a pro in no time. So there you have it. You've just unlocked another tool in your snowboarding toolkit, side-slipping on the heel edge and toe edge. Practice these techniques and you'll have greater control and flexibility on the mountain. You've learned another essential skill. Ready for the next one? Now that you've mastered the basics, let's explore other types of turns. Moving beyond the basics, we have the toe side turn. It's quite the opposite of the heel side turn. Instead of leaning back, you'll be leaning forward. Keep your knees bent and shift your weight onto your toes. It might feel a bit awkward at first, but with practice, it will become second nature. Then there are the linked turns, where you smoothly transition from a toe side turn to a heel side turn, and vice versa. Imagine drawing a smooth, flowing S shape down the snow. The key here is to maintain a steady rhythm and to keep your movements fluid. Remember, your board is an extension of your body. Feel the snow beneath you, sense your momentum, and let it guide your turns. You're becoming a pro at this. Let's move on to the final step. Last but not least, let's learn how to link turns. Linking turns is the art of seamlessly transitioning from one turn to another, creating a smooth, fluid motion down the slope. It's the equivalent of stringing together a sentence in a conversation, providing a continuous rhythmic dialogue with the mountain. To achieve this, you need to master the art of timing and balance. Start with a heel side turn, then as your board begins to face downhill, gradually shift your weight to your front foot and pivot your hips to initiate a toe side turn. The key is to keep your movements smooth and controlled, allowing the board to naturally follow the arc of the turn. Mastering linking turns is crucial, as it not only allows you to navigate the mountain with grace and style, but it also provides the foundation for more advanced techniques. Congratulations, you've successfully learned how to snowboard. Well, that was a thrilling ride, wasn't it? We've journeyed from the very first time on a snowboard, learning about equipment and safety, to mastering speed and control. We've explored the first turn, the falling leaf carve, and the art of side slipping on both heel and toe edge. And then the grand finale, linking turns to create a fluid, exhilarating ride down the slope. Remember, practice makes perfect, so keep practicing and most importantly, enjoy the ride.